Thank you so much for taking the time and talking with us today. You are on your winter in the air tour right now. Really exciting. You're coming to Albuquerque on December 4th. And when I heard about this, I just wanted to get you on the phone and talk with you about what's going on in your life, man.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me and
Yeah.
for taking the chat.
Yeah. When was the last time you were in Albuquerque, man?
The last time was on my first solo tour that I ever did, and that was almost 11 years ago. So it's been a while since I performed in Albuquerque.
Dude, that's so awesome that I'm so excited. I'm gonna be at your show, and I'm really excited to come. And it's crazy. It's been 11 years since you've been here. Really cool. Um,
I know, yeah, that'd be awesome to have you.
yeah. You just released your Winter in the Air album. It's an awesome Christmas album. I was watching your music video, by the way, for the Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays today. It's so funny. You have the guest cameos with Lance and Chris from NSYNC. I literally laughed out loud, and I'm like, this is so great. We're gonna have to play that through our show.
Oh man, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was fun to do. I didn't know if Lance and Chris were going to be up for being in the video, but one of the people I work with in management, Carrie, she used to work with them, and she's like, we should get them to come into the video, and I know them, but I just didn't know if they would be up for it, and they were, so they came, and they had us laughing because they were like joking the whole time, especially Chris Kirkpatrick. He was a hoot. I think he should be a stand-up comedian or something, but they kept us pretty entertained.
Dude, it was so fun. They were taking jabs at themselves with like your friend's like sweater. It was so great. I loved it.
Thank you.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in Utah right now, where I grew up. I live in Tennessee now, but I'm in Utah. We're doing band rehearsals for the tour, and I'm also my sister's getting married, so that's probably like the biggest reason why I'm here.
Dude, that's
She's getting
so
married.
exciting. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Do you keep really close with your family?
I yeah, I do. I keep in check with I check in with my siblings and see what they're up to, how they're doing. It's been fun kind of just spending time with them. They're into anime and video games, and so I'll usually go and watch with them or play some Super Smash Bros with them, which is pretty fun.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's so fun. That's so nice that I bet they're so excited to have you and to get spend this, this holiday season with them. So that's awesome, man. Really cool.
Thank you.
It's nice to hear that people still spend time with their family, and I don't know, it's just very encouraging.
It's always nice.
So David, seriously, this is such an honor to talk with you. I remember being, I don't know what grade I was in, maybe like 8th grade, and I remember you just being like the biggest name when I was like with American Idol, and like you were like guest appearing on the Hannah Montana, series, and it was just like the coolest. It was cool. It was the coolest thing, and so I I I'm very curious with people like what is your life now what you thought it would be back then, because that was a tremendous amount of success at such a young age, and like has life played out the way like you wanted it to?
Um, well, I didn't know exactly what to expect because I was 17. I was 16 when I auditioned and 17 by the time it was over. And I thought I was just going to, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up yet. I thought I would finish high school and I'd finish college and like socialize some bit, explore some classes. And then when I finished college, then I would figure out what I would want to do. And it didn't turn out that way. I mean, I always loved music. I just didn't know I was going to be able to do it as a career. And I wasn't prepared for it yet. It just happened. So I kind of just felt a lot of time like everything was happening, but I didn't really comprehend that it was actually happening, that I was actually I was releasing an album and being watched by millions of people, that I had a fan base, that I had a song on the radio suddenly. It just all was just kind of like 6 months ago, or maybe 8 months ago, I wasn't anticipating, I wasn't even going for this. And all of a sudden now it's all happening. So it, uh, it definitely took me off guard. And I think it took me a couple of years before I kind of processed, okay, yeah, okay, I've realized what I'm working my butt off for. And I think it wasn't until just a few years ago, I actually took a break from music. I was a missionary for 2 years for my church in South America in Chile. And it wasn't until then that I kind of was like, okay, this just happened. Okay. That's right. Like people know who I am. And even in Chile, like people would stop me and be like, wait a second, you're David Archuleta. And I was like, okay. And then when I got back from my mission, I was like, okay, people like know my music. I worked for this. I've recorded stuff. I'm like, is this what I want to do? I've
Yeah.
never asked. I never got the chance to ask myself that. Like, is this what I'm wanting to do with the rest of my life? Is this the career that I've been hoping for? And I actually took like a year and a half to just think about that. I was still writing songs. I was still performing a little bit, but I was just like, I never gave myself that chance. I was just a teenager, and it's not like I wasn't like other people on American Idol where I was like, this is my dream. I'm willing to do anything, whatever it takes to be the next American Idol. I was just like, well, I love singing. I love music. I love how it makes me feel, and I'm just gonna keep expressing that while I'm here, however long that is. I didn't realize I was gonna be there till the finale, but I'm very grateful for everything that's happened. I'm here, uh, 11 years later, almost 12 years later now, still doing music, and I still, I guess I think I'm always wondering, like, is this, can I really keep this up? Am I still, am I gonna, is this what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life? I don't know yet, but I know that I'll always sing. I think I'll never stop singing. And for now, I do enjoy performing in the shows, but I, who knows? I really don't know, because I do like therapy and stuff. I love like psychology and stuff. So
Yeah.
who knows? 20 years, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to be a therapist now or something." I don't know.
David, that's amazing. That's such a surreal experience for you. And I think you nailed it with that. A lot of people don't process what's happening until later, and it's hard to like be in that moment and think, is this what I want to do? Will I be fulfilled with this career, with this job? And especially when it's all happens so fast in such a turnaround from the age of 16 to 17, and you're, now David Archuleta, that the world knows you. So that's so amazing, man. How you're so you can sense it. I can sense some peace in you. You're very just a well-grounded guy. Like life's good for you. What's your secret, man? Like what's keeping you like just grounded?
My secret. Well, I do have, my challenges, and I have my, I guess, freak out moments too, and just like, where am I going? I do feel like, even though, life brings its curveballs and its mountains to climb, I, I do trust a lot in God and in my faith. I do trust in that if we put our trust in Him, He will keep us grounded. He will give us peace, even when our circumstances aren't what you would consider peaceful circumstances. So I think that's something that really helps me out. And even though sometimes where I'm like, man, am I doing a good job with my work? Am I like, should I be pushing myself harder? Am I a good friend? Am I a good brother? Am I a good son? Like, uh, am I a good like boss for the people who work for me? A lot of times I do have questions, but in the end, I do feel like I have a sense of, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a purpose, and that is to lift people. I want to help people feel like they have a purpose that is more than just being the best and being on top, but that they have a worth that even goes beyond this life. I feel like we're all spiritual beings. all children of God. And I think that tries to help me. It influences why I do what I do, why I sing what I sing about, how I treat people the way I try to treat them. I'm not perfect. Like I get impatient, I get frustrated, I get angry, but I try to make my, I try to make things right if I do make mistakes. So I guess,
I love that, man. That was so beautiful. I love your mission. I love your why in life. Like that's phenomenal, man. Um,
thank you.
I'm I'm it's a complete privilege to hear that from you. What when all said and done, what do you want to be known for?
What do I want to be known for? I just hope that even if I'm not like, my goal isn't to be someone's idol. My goal, it's funny because, American Idol, but my goal isn't to be someone's idol. I hope that even if they just listen to a song of mine in passing, or if I happen to run into someone in the street, or they come across an interview of mine, I just hope that people can be like, you know what? Something that he said, or just the way he treated me, or I was left with thinking about re, re, having a different perspective on myself and on my life. Like, maybe I can contribute to this life, even if it's in simple ways. I can make a difference. I really want to help people know that even with their imperfections, like I deal with overthinking all the time. I overanalyze, I over worry a lot, and so uh, I'm and I deal with a lot of negativity actually that I have to continue fighting all the time. I'm constantly getting bombarded by thoughts saying you're not good enough, you can't do this, you're going to be a failure, you're going to be embarrassment. Why even bother trying? Just give up. It's better. It's a lot easier to just give up than to just keep trying, because you're not going to get anywhere anyway. And I feel like I just wonder like if there's anyone else feeling like that, like it's a wrestle. You have to keep wrestling it with it. And I think it's a lifelong wrestle, which is not what we want to hear. We want to be like, yeah, all my problems have gone away. I've solved them all. But if there's anyone dealing with the same negativity, same self-doubts, I want them to leave saying, you know what? I, I can I can still keep moving forward. I can still be happy, and I can still make a difference despite all the negativity that I keep hearing, whether it's inside my head or from the people around me. That's I guess that's what I hope to do. I want them to feel their purpose. I feel like everyone who's here, they're living for a reason and for a purpose, and I want them to find that purpose. I want them to find their mission. So if I can do anything to help them with that, then that will help me with my sense of mission. Like I feel like my mission's being accomplished if I can
Yeah.
help other people find their mission.
Man, that's wonderful, dude. Myself, it's that negative talk that like, it's the like feeding the black dog of, I'm not good enough, or the worrying about all the fears and all those things. And thank you so much for sharing that, because that I think just a lot of my friends right now, I have a couple of friends right now specifically who are really dealing with that heavily. And so just hearing that from you, I think gives a lot of hope to people. And do you have, I don't know what my question is, but like, how do you get better at that? How do you get better with the self-talk? And it's crazy to hear for someone like you, right? Who, you American Idol. And so how do you get better at that, of keep trucking forward and not keep feeding that black dog of all this negative emotions that I'm not good enough?
Yeah. It what's interesting, I don't know, I think it's different for each person when they deal with it, but I've just, even when I was a little kid, as early as elementary school, I remember just dealing with this negativity, and I felt so socially awkward. I would spend recess alone just because that negativity would come in my head and say like, "Oh, you're a loser. Like no one will want to talk to you, so just go be off on your own, so you don't bug anybody." And so I would just go sit by myself, and and I think it's like, even though the negativity hasn't gone away, when it tries to kind of like, you know, throw me off course in my mind, I think something that's helped me a lot is I've gone to a lot of therapy just to understand myself and be like, okay, just because the thoughts are there doesn't mean that's who you are. Just because your own, yeah, they're your thoughts telling you these things, and but that doesn't mean that's who you are. You can actually, a therapist said, you can actually put them aside and say, thank you for the information. I'm just going to put you aside over here and I'm going to keep moving forward. And they keep coming back and
Yeah.
they keep saying, wait a second, no, you're too stupid. You can't do this. I just say, okay, appreciate the information. I'm just going to keep going and move forward. And it's like a constant thing. You just have to learn how to distinguish who you are versus the negativity that enters into your mind. And it's a wrestle. Sometimes I get worn out. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't, oh, like you just kind of give in. I'm like, maybe it's true. Like, oh, I can't do this. I'm a loser. But you just have to keep, sometimes you'll just fall and you'll lay there on the ground for a little bit and be like, oh, but after a few moments, you just have to be like, oh, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to do this. I'm going to be okay. But, therapy has helped me. I talk a lot to my friends, my family. And I think when I started letting them know what I was feeling, it helped so much. And then I'd just get up down on my, when I was like really frustrated, I'd get down on my knees and I'd just pray and I'd just be like, I need help right now because I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to see myself in a better light. God, can you please help me see myself the way you see me? Because I feel pretty lousy right now. And I think in those moments, it's just like you feel like things are going to be okay. And I feel I feel loved even being the overthinking, over worrying, negative thought David that I am. I still feel like I'm loved, that I have a purpose, and that I can still accomplish good. And so that gives me hope. That helps me out. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that gives me a lot of hope, dude. Like seriously, that was amazing. I think I loved hearing that you've gone to therapy. I just was talking to my therapist today, and we were just talking about how the world would be so much better if everyone went to therapy. And it's such a fantastic resource out there for people just to deal with all of those emotions and thoughts that are going through our head. We're all so broken, and so I loved hearing that. David, I think I need to let you get back to your band practice and to your sister's wedding. So I'm going to end this conversation, but I really want to get together with you again sometime, man. I really, I really appreciate the person you are. I see a great deal of God working through you, and a great deal of God's love through you, and it's a very attractive characteristic. So thank you for being who you are. Truly, this is a complete privilege for me right now. I'm really excited. I'm going to come check out your show December 4th here in Albuquerque.